Greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara. All relations. We're back with another video. This time we're live and we're talking all about the Seraphim codes. Okay. Now, I received these spiritual downloads yesterday, and if you don't know what spiritual downloads are, I mean, get with the times, bro. Okay. Besides that point, I'm Uncle Makra, all relations, as you know. Um, we're here to talk about some epic things, right? We drip in light language over here. Okay. Shena kena bena uni puppy puri kuri uri uli booby guri guri mami yabi yabi obo 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 obo. Okay. That's some light language for you fools. I just feel like, you know what? I feel like we need more laughter, right? Anybody else feel that? Like a good joke can melt all resistance, right? A good rollicking joke, right? Where your stomach hurts a little bit, right? Where you get abs, that kind of laughter. I think it's so healing, right? I'm healing from some back pain, so is Ryan G, which is associated with financial abundance. So I already know this is going to be a challenge towards maximizing potentiality for monetary gains coming through. Now, I think a good goofy segment, right, that becomes a hilarious monstrosity is needed at times. Just a rollicking good time, right? I hope not Rickrolling a good time because we are no strangers to love, okay? You know the flow, and so do I. I just want to tell you how I'm flowing so that you could understand. Okay? Never gonna not tap in, never gonna try to win, 'cause I am the winner from the beginning. Okay? That's my version. Perfect. So today we're talking about Seraphim's angelic psychology. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. This month is highly dedicated to these beings, the seraphim. They're very intimidating, very intense beings, but also they're very high vibrational. So imagine being a high vibrational asshole, right? A ruthlessness to the high vibrational nature. Not like you're trying to be a dick to people. That's not what I'm saying, but let's have fun, right? Let's crack a few eggs to make this omelet, is what I'm saying. So without further ado, let's go. And if you like my vibe already, please hit the subscribe button, okay? If you like my vibe, then hit the subscribe. Okay, bars, bars, right? Bars and I made you do it. Bars and I made you do it. Okay, thank you for subscribing. Why is no one drawing a line in the sand, right? Like, yo, this BS ends with me. This BS ends today, right? The hard line, right? The setting of the boundary. I mean, what if you told yourself, I summon healed relief from every single dimension and realm, right? Because we specialize in evaporating spiritual leeches. They thought humiliation was initiation. They thought cruelty was wisdom. They thought tearing someone down was the same as teaching them how to rise. But let me say this loud, and most of you know who I'm talking about. If you don't, start catching up. That was not a mentorship. That was parasitism. A man who calls another venomous insults and wraps it in spiritual disguise is not liberating souls, he's feeding off of them. That's not tough love, it's leech behavior. It's entity attachment masquerading as guidance. And I stand here as Primal Sutra, not broken, not begging for approval, but rebuilt by my own damn fire. Because the Nexus protects its adepts. Because the flow doesn't bend to cult egos. No tribe, no false prophet, no rogue mentor can cage what is eternal. Understand this, guys. I know some of you need to hear this. This is so essential. They try to brand me a phony in their lectures. Yet look who still speaks with power. And look who still hides behind cruelty. You wanted to break me so that I could live in your image. But the Flomo sapien doesn't submit to parasites. That collective egregore, it's already in the astral graveyard for me. I don't mourn it, I compost it. And from that compost, new adepts rise, clearer, freer, more untouchable. Brahmari till the skies crack open, Flomi. Okay, I told myself this yesterday. Oh man, it's wonderful. I told myself this yesterday, okay? Brahmari. Brahmari is the yoga where you like go like this and you start buzzing, right? So you close your ears basically and you close your eyes, right? And you can look it up, Bhramari. Brahmari. Brahmari till the skies crack open, flowing, right? So the hum of liberation is louder than any insults. And the Nexus doesn't play with entities, it consumes them, okay? Enough said on that topic. So let's move on. Through the eyes of the Seraphim, I choose to burn the lie called anxiety that used to plague my life. It used to plague my life. I realized today that I never actually had anxiety or ADHD or any of these labels. What I had was a sensation, a pulse in the chest, a flutter in the gut, a current in the nerves, right? A simple effect of energy moving through my system. Sometimes it was neutral, sometimes it was raw, sometimes it was intense. Other times I felt alive. But then I stacked a story on top of it. Okay? Not a story I wrote myself, by the way. No, 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 no. This was borrowed mythology. Okay? Borrowed mythology. It's a hand-me-down borrowed philosophy. Okay? And once you get this, let me just share this with the tribe before I forget, because okay. So, I had people whispered to me, society, therapists, well-meaning friends, oh, that feeling in your chest, that's anxiety. That tightness in your stomach, that's panic, right? Like a psychic Photoshop filter, I stamped someone else's label onto my own raw experience. I was told that feeling bad is bad, that it's a disorder, right? That it's a thing I suffer from. Listen to the stories, guys, of this. Maybe you're going through something similar. But once the label stuck, the sensation became a cage for me. And I realized today, maybe this is the Seraphim download that I'm receiving, guys, right? Is this the sensation never hurt me? The story did. The story did. The label created the panic. Okay. So let's get started, okay, with this transmission. That's okay, babe. I'm just in the flow. So I call it a panic attack. And the word itself, you know what that brings? Panic, fear, attack, aggression. That's air and fire. Air and fire. Now you need to cool yourself, right? I realize I need to use the Ayurveda protocol because if I'm air and fire in my nature, I can't be eating so many chilies throughout the day. Yo, I love that. I love that. I'll be the first one to reach for the hot sauce, right? But it's because I like that intensity, that monster. I'm a sea monster ultimately, right? That's what I do. That's what I am. Ferris is sat. He's ready for these notes, man. Fuck. Okay, let's go. All right. So the first thing I changed was the label. Fuck that label because it doesn't work. I said, this is not a panic attack. This is a wake-up call from my body, and it's telling me what is urgent or important. So sensation versus story. First of all, strip away the label, and what is left? Just intensity, tingling, heat, energy, right? Your heart races, it's fuel. Your stomach flips, it's a portal. Your palms sweat, it's your body priming for presence. But the mind hijacks this natural current and puts a label on it, calls it anxiety, gets you on a bunch of pills, right? And once you believe it, you start fighting it, you start resisting it, you start fearing it because that is not your true nature. Is your true nature scared or is it fearless? You tell me. That resistance multiplies the sensation, right? Until the fear of the feeling becomes worse than the feeling itself. And that's the sleight of hand of the collective egregore called anxiety. It feeds not on your sensations, okay, but on the story you attach to those sensations. So what if you thought of your anxiety like a thought form parasite, a mimetic virus, right? It's just a meme. Your anxiety is just a meme. It thrives when you collapse sensation into pathology. So every time you say, I'm anxious, I'm nervous, I'm, no, just say, I'm feeling energy a lot. I'm feeling so much energy within me right now, right? You're feeding the beast with your words. And the moment you step away and you say, wait, this isn't anxiety, this is just sensation. This is just adrenaline in my body. This is just a, ooh, feels like a jungle gym in my internal world or something, right? But the moment you do that, the egregore starves, the story drops, and then you reclaim the pen and the authorship of your life. You stop being the hunted and you become the alchemist. You see, alchemy is never about getting rid of the material. It's about always transmuting it, lead into gold, poison into medicine, right? So let's do it. That pounding in your chest, that's life force knocking on your rib cage, asking to be let out. The flutter in your stomach, that's your intuition saying, hey, 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 pay attention to your breathing. Pay attention to your diet, right? That heat on your skin, that's your spirit reminding you you're still alive. You're not numb. You're living in HD 4K in so many different dimensions. What if you rebranded every so-called symptom as a signal, a treasure, an initiation checkpoint? The anxiety dissolves like this, and all that remains is energy. And energy is power, okay? Peace, peace, peace. Back from hiatus. Welcome back, okay? And let's get started. So let's get clinical for a second. Every sensation we feel passes through the limbic system before the cortex names it, right? The body doesn't say anxiety. The body just says faster heartbeat, quickened breath, tingling skin. It's interpretation that turns the raw data into a diagnosis. So the alchemist's move is to intercept the interpretation. Ooh, okay. To pause between sensation and story, to choose a new frame. So instead of saying I'm anxious, use a different word. I'm charged. Instead of saying I can't handle this, you say my body's amplifying. This is bad, but this is energy. That's Aikido against your mind story. So you don't suppress, you redirect. And when you realize you never had anxiety, only stories over the sensation, you stop pathologizing yourself. You stop being a victim of cultural hypnosis, and you discover something so much deeper, that your nervous system is not broken. It is a mystical instrument, constantly broadcasting signals. Every so-called attack is really a transformation. Every flare of sensation is an invitation into deeper presence. So here's the raw truth. You never had anxiety. All you had was sensation. All you had was energy flowing through you. And maybe it got stuck at some points, right? You had life running hot through your circuits. The tragedy was believing other people's stories about it. The cure isn't the pill or the mantra or even the meditation. The cure is the recognition. To catch the moment the story tries to latch into the sensation and to laugh at it. Oh, you again? Not today, buddy. Nah, I'm not dealing with that. Okay. No. Okay. That energy. From that stance, you stop living as a patient of your own nervous system and you start living as its master. Awareness reigns, anxiety dies. Right? And many people, they perpetuate these bad habits, right? Drinking makes you a gremlin, bro. Okay. If you guys notice this, not all of you, I'm saying some of you are very, precise and methodical when you drink. But seriously though, it changes your character and makes you more influential towards other spirits taking over. So why are you drinking every night? Right. And I don't want to be the dad like that comes in and then smacks some sense into you, even though that is, I am your uncle. Okay. I'm your universal uncle of the internets, of the interwebs. Okay. So why are you only reading Esther Hicks? Right. Oh man, get on some Steiner Jung, some Fukin, William Blake, man. Right. Some Osho, some Manly P. Hall, some Tesla. Right. Not just Rhonda Byrne. Right. Louise Hay, Don Miguel Ruiz. Right. This is baby level stuff. Eckhart Tolle, right? The Celestine prophecy. Oh my God, a synchronicity as adventure, right? Let me buy a Kyle Gray Oracle deck, right? And look through the light codes. High vibe inspo, man. Right? No, 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 no. You need to read stuff like The Way of the Shaman by Michael Herner, or like, you know, who else is a good one? Mantak Microcosmic Orbit, right? Nisargadatta Maharaj, I Am That, right? Ramana Maharshi, Be As You Are. Padmasambhava, Natural Liberation, right? These books are golden, man. Okay? Now, I haven't gone into depth with these books either, but I've taken what is resonant for me, right? I take what is essential and resonant for me. So, your secret fear isn't failure. Your secret fear is having it all. You're not scared of losing. You're scared of winning so hard that it makes your family myth look fake. If you become wealthy, loved, and free, then the ancient contract, we survive by suffering, dies. It evaporates. And that contract has cousins and cousins' cousins, right? Like the Sikh communities, like cousins within cousins with more cousins, right? Like the are are you part of a Sikh community? Get well soon, brother. Okay, saw a joke the other day. I'm just kidding around. I love the Sikh people. Okay, you guys are awesome. And that contract has cousins, right? Money corrupts, love hurts, joy isn't safe, all this kind of stuff, right? So notice how your nervous system treats abundance like a tiger in the room, right? Seraphic move is to sit with the sensation of too good and breathe into it until your body natural grounds to that. And that power doesn't bite, right? You write a new house law. I honor my lineage by evolving it. Your life runs on command lines disguised as sentences. I can't afford it. People always leave me. I attract narcissists. Okay, that's spell casting. That's spell casting, not personality. Victim language rents your mind to chaos. Creator language reclaims the lease. So being creator does not mean blame, it means authorship. And authors rewrite chapters mid-page, don't they? So update 3 phrases you say the most. Replace the I can't with I'm resourcing this now. Replace they always with I choose different standards. It's hard with it's a stretch my future self actually enjoys. So it's all in the language. And force is a counterfeit masculinity. Remember this. It's allowing is a divine architecture. Because how did your father had to allow, your mother had to allow your father to be with them together, right? To produce you as the offspring. So when you force, you produce results that cannot nourish you. You get pretty trophies, but hungry soul. So allowing is the feminine, the receptivity. Allowing isn't passive, it's actually precision. It's lightning to the current underneath the noise. It's Shakti. It's strength with the pulse. And the Seraph's sword is guided by the Seraph's ear. Before any big decision, close the laptop, put your bare feet on the floor, hand on a heart, one on the belly. What action would feel clean tomorrow morning? Move from that. You see, most people adopt partners like emotional painkillers. Hold my unprocessed childhood and don't wobble, right? That's a hostage negotiation. That's not love. The mirror contract says I'll show you your edges if you show me mine, right? Reverence, boundaries, and truth. Or nothing. If your relationship keeps you numb, it's blocking your birthright. So the homework is just list 3 patterns that your last 2 partners reflected in you. The need for control, let's say approval hunger, abandonment panic, whatever came up, think of them as mirrors. Then choose one pattern to transmute this month with action, with boundary, with proper therapy, right? Through someone trustable, through pausing on dating and ritual, right? So truth doesn't need your belief, it needs your bandwidth. If a reel, a comment, or a headline hijacks you, you're under sorcery by distraction, right? Truth isn't a debate trophy. It's a felt frequency. And the more clogged your inputs, news, doom scrolling, gossip, the more you mistake static for actual signal. But the seraphic hygiene is no news, no rage bait, no advice accounts. Replace with breath, body work, scripture of your choice, silence. Watch your intuition come back online like a city after a blackout. Guys, I might tear up during this because the seraphic energy is very powerful. I'm feeling it right now, and it's a lot of pressure. So if I start crying, don't call me a bitch. Okay, that's all I ask. Okay. Label addiction. Okay. All women are like this. All men are like this. This person is a narcissist. That's a vending machine that dispenses proof of your worst story. Yes, patterns exist, but chronic labeling is what I'm after, right? Chronic labeling cements identity around the wound. So name the behavior, not the species, okay? This person violates boundaries. I withdraw all access from them, okay? Redirect your energy to standards, screening, and self-protection that doesn't poison your fear. Because your deepest fear is not death, it's not failure, it's not rejection. Your deepest fear is that you already won with God, that the game is over before it began, that the prize you've been crawling towards is the breath already in your chest, that there's no ladder, no guru, no ritual, no lineage that can give you what is already tattooed in your bone marrow. That terrifies you because it means no excuses. It means no more running. It means no more pointing fingers at fate. No more waiting till the right time. It means you have to face the blinding simplicity that you are that. And when you accept it and when you swallow it whole, your skull becomes a conch shell roaring oceans through dimensions, mystical tsunamis pouring out through your crown, washing karmic filth from entire bloodlines, right? You bend timelines like reeds in the wind. You dissolve contracts and then rewrite the scripts. You fracture the fake destinies that parasites tried to shackle you with. Saint and savage, you walk barefoot on thunder, spine straight as the axis of the cosmos, humming the sound that splits illusion from truth. Let them laugh, let them get jelly, let them get mad, let them call you weak. Their words are ash, because what they fear most, what you fear most, it's already here, already now, already God, already source, and you are the storm that remembers. The pilgrimage isn't to the stage, it's to your spine. Teachers are signposts, not saviors. If you keep outsourcing the answer, your power atrophies. But the moment you treat your inner voice like the VIP in the room, guidance arrives with upgraded clarity. So ask yourself, what truth am I avoiding? Because it would change everything. Write it down, okay? What truth am I avoiding because it would change everything? You'll feel your crown click if this is done right. If you market your body, you recruit the wound that worships it. This is what I learned, okay? Nowadays, my posts are very intentional. Of course, Ellie helped me with this. It doesn't mean hide beauty. It doesn't mean that. It means stop using it as collateral. You guys get this? That's vanity. So if you lead with your essence, your values, your standards, your nervous system peace, you magnetize equals, right? And you got to audit your presence. Replace performative flashes with proof of character, how you repair and rest, what you protect, what you refuse. Royalty doesn't beg, it broadcasts. Decision is prayer wearing boots, right? So this field responds to certainty, like iron to a magnet. You don't need a perfect plan to start. You just need a clean yes. Pick one area that you need to improve. Money, love, body, whatever. Write the decision in present tense. I run a cash flow calm business that funds my creativity, right? Your heart closed the day safety failed to show. Forgiveness is not letting them off the hook. It's letting you out. It melts the freeze around your future. Okay, so this is why we have to do it ritualistically. Good morning, Andrea. What does Seraphim September mean to you? Well, it's an upheaval energy, right? It's an upheaval and upliftment energy where it's such a high voltage. Instead of high vibration, I want you to think of this as high voltage, right? Because high vibration can also be very like, okay, I'm floating by. But this energy is almost like a blade that slices through butter. That's so this month, this is really what we're called to show up as, right? Because your heart closed the day safety failed to show. And if you understand, you need to stop trying to beat the universe into submission with tiny little ego rituals. The oak doesn't sit in the soil muttering affirmations to itself. I am an oak. I am an oak. I am an oak tree. I am an oak. It just roots, drinks, and rises. The difference is the tree is innocent. You have choice. And with choice comes the temptation to sabotage your own blooming. But Primal Sutra reminds you, the Nexus reminds you, emergence is not passive, but neither is it force. It's becoming the right condition, right? The dojo of daily practice, the altar of discipline, all the flow state rituals that you have, these are your sunlight and rain. So get the inner climate right. And your inner potential doesn't need motivation. It detonates, right? PrimalSutraMysterySchool.com. Gotta plug myself, okay? And Ryan G. Gotta plug ourselves, all right? PrimalSutraMysterySchool.com to find out more. Visualization is toddler magic. You're still bargaining with the void like a cosmic vending machine, but visioning is grown-ass shamanism. It's kneeling before your own soul and asking, what vow did I sign before this incarnation? What current wants to tear through my body, right? Because visualization makes you hungry for cars and lovers and all these different things. Visioning makes you remember the kingdom you came to build. So one is programming the matrix, the other is letting the architect speak through you. So stop living as if the Dow Jones or your Instagram algorithm gets to dictate your fate. You are endogenous, my friends, as Michael Beckwith would say. You are endogenous. You create the environment. The internal environment you create. So when you go within, your strength gets activated. You get to change and create the state because you are the condition. When the stock market crashes, when your friends are spiraling, when society says not possible, you laugh. Those are exogenous illusions. The adept knows I am the ecosystem. I am the weather pattern. I am the microclimate in which miracles germinate. And the bad times is some kind of an NPC excuse. Okay, you create the right condition and the lotus blooms in the mud. So stop making something happen, addicted to manifesting, when it's activated through allowance. You welcome it. Okay, more blessings. Oh, cool. Put those in the corner next to those miracles, please. Right? I just normalized my gifts. We're really here to navigate and grow, guys. And the universe is always expanding. So that means we are always expanding. And if you're not aligned with the universal current. Service isn't slavery, it's overflow. It's the dam of your chest cracking open because the reservoir of spirit is too damn full to hoard. And when you serve, you align with universal law because you dissolve the lie of separation. Depression thrives on self-obsession. What will others think about me? What was going to happen to me? It's complete delving into the pit of your darkness and the ego, right? And you have to come out swinging on the other side with a machete because joy erupts when your gifts leak into humanity. Primal Sutra adepts live by this, right? It is the axis which joy spins is service. So every challenge is initiation fire. Stop praying for an easy life. The gods won't grant it. They love you too much. They'll keep tossing you into the forest until your dormant seeds crack. Remember the pine cone, it takes flame to awaken. Same with you. The heartbreak, financial collapse, illness, betrayal. These are fire codes, not curses. They break you open to gifts that you can touch and comfort. So don't remember this. The adept knows this as a Primal Sutra adept. The fire doesn't destroy you, it forges you. If you can't stand being alone, you'll make others your emotional hostages. You'll stalk them with your neediness, demanding they regulate your nervous system. That's vampirism. Real love is not bubble baths and hashtags. It's facing your shadows, befriending your demons, and saying, I've got you. If you can laugh alone, breathe alone, dance alone, then when you meet another, it's overflow, not theft. This is why without self-love, every relationship is doomed to manipulation. You think forgiveness is a favor that you grant your enemies? Forgiveness is the detox that you administer to yourself because resentment rots you from the inside out. It accelerates your aging. It calcifies your heart. Forgiveness is not saying what you did was okay. It's saying, I refuse to carry your poison in my bloodstream one more day. Every cord you cut frees up psychic wattage. It's energy hygiene. So this realm is a dream nested inside a dream, a simulation of separation. Religion, politics, nationalism, okay? Even your family name, they're all scripted abstractions. They're layers, they're lenses layered on top of your perception. So when you pop into lucidity, you realize there's no cage with belief. The matrix is not a prism, it's a classroom, right? Your task is not to escape. but to play lucid, to create within it, to realize the divine cannot be exited. You were never separate. You were never asleep. You only dreamt that you were. So every initiate thinks that I need more books. I need more podcasts. I need another advanced mantra, please. Real mastery is doing the damn practice again and again until your bones hum it. Just one meditation, one breath, one mantra, one movement. And it's not sexy, but this is where your awareness pierces the veil and theory titillates. Practice transfigures. In Primal Sutra, we say discipline is the highest tantra. Without it, you're just a tourist in spirituality, right? The bliss of discipline, because the word discipline is associated with punishment and so forth. So we've reframed the word, right? So flow is the trained body plus the divine intelligence. It's not just chilling on a vibe, right? Flow is when your body has been so finely tuned through your practice that the divine intelligence can hijack it. That slam dunk that came out of nowhere, right? The surgeon guided by invisible hands, the poem that wrote itself, that's the marriage. Flow is rigor plus surrender. Without training, surrender collapses into chaos, and without surrender, training calcifies into control. So flow state is the razor's edge between the two, and your fate isn't decided by what you do at noon. It's decided by the portals of night and dawn. Before sleep, your subconscious is wide open. If you go to bed marinating in resentment and watching like web series that cause a bunch of chaos and drama, you multiply hell, right? So scan your day and forgive. Then choose your timeline like slipping into a dream. And upon waking, you don't reach for your phone immediately. You reach for gratitude. I'm grateful for another day. I'm still here. I'm still surviving. Okay? Reach for surrender. Reach for gratitude. What assignment do I have today? You will know. These liminal states are like leverage points, okay? They cause hypnagogic and hypnopompic states of mind, right? Where you see those little light floaties and flutters and so forth, okay? Praise and criticism are both imposters because both are traps for the ego. Praise fattens you up, criticism deflates you. Both distract you from your path and dharma. If someone praises you, bow, let it pass. If they criticize, bow and see if there's a lesson, then let it pass. Right? It's simple. Don't build your temple on the shifting sands of others' opinions. Build it in service and truth. To live by applause is to die by booing. The crowd is fickle, man. Dharma is eternal. Nature teaches there's a time to plant, a time to harvest, a time to decay, a time to win. Society worships endless summer, productivity, expansion, achievement. That's delusion because winter is sacred too. Look at the beauty of the snowflakes. Silence, rest, solitude. These are seasons of power, right? So I know I said some of you guys are hibernating. That's not what I meant, man. Like you need that, right? You do need that at times. So if you resist cycles, you suffer. If you honor them, you can surf them. And at the absolute level, there's no cycles. It's just all presence, right? At the relative level, you just master your rhythm and don't fight the tide. You cannot be cursed by another human being if you're vibrating in compassion. Tyranny cannot survive in a field of love. When you see cruelty, don't default to condemnation. That's easy. You train your curiosity. What wound forged this behavior? The highest yoga is karma yoga. When you serve, you stop pretending that there is a me over there and a you over there. Every act of service is you nourishing yourself in another costume. And this is why I show up to work every day with so much vitality, because service floods me with more energy than I can give, because it collapses the ego's illusion of lack. And in the act of serving others, the giver and receiver dissolve into one infinity symbol, a circulation. So heaven is not after death. It's the flow state of selfless service. I cracked this code open today, and I understand information is like a sandbox, man. Embodiment is the earth itself. Woo! Okay, this is huge. This is huge. You can hoard a bunch of thousand podcast scores and PDFs and still move like a ghost in your own life. The nervous system doesn't obey lectures, it obeys what you consistently are. When your breath, your posture, your micro choices, and the tone are charged with the state you claim to want, reality doesn't manifest, it surrenders to you. The body is the altar and your state is the offering. Live as the deity that eats what you serve. Your soul didn't incarnate to collect badges. I don't think so, right? Oh, this looks cool on my wall. Okay. Ceremony does not equal certification. You won't think your way into wholeness, my friends, via someone else's map. Ceremony begins when you close the tabs and you meet your raw breath like a river. The oracle is your own fascia, your gut, your aches and pains in your body. Listen to that. These are teachers that can point you, and only presence initiates these things. So create a solo ceremony, black out your room. Yeah, we have, of course, the candlelight practice for the adepts. Um, but you don't need to know how to. You need less static. The how to is still ego. The signal of your original nature is already broadcasting. The gunk is just attachments, habits, and identity props. Okay. I'm so locked in right now, man. Let me just go back to the chat, live chat. Um, where did I have it open? Oh, here it is. Yo, yo. Okay. Responsibility. True, because people can be fickle AF too. Absolutely. Absolutely. And judgment is like a curvature of perception that fractures our power, right? The moment we label the event as bad, we exile its medicine and we feed the very demon that we fear. So everything is precise, not passive, precise. This is the Seraphim code. From this seat, you stop leaking energy to resistance and you transmute faster. You transmute faster because whatever you chronically resist, abandonment, worthiness, failure, marks the exact treasure you house in surplus, presence, enoughness, potency. So the psyche plays reverse charades, right? It points to the shadow to get you to claim the sun. So you can write, I fear blank, therefore I am blank. I fear abandonment, therefore I am presence, right? Then go enact one present act, right? A call, cooking something, touching your pets, right? Tending to yourself. When overflow is embodied, money feels inevitable, right? Goals become quaint little things, and manifestation becomes just your weather. Your body broadcasts safely, generosity, and scope. And the world calibrates the bandwidth if you need an outcome to feel abundant. You're in bargain mode, not God mode, right? There's no cosmic Amazon delivery. You're not attracting, you're revealing, right? The field is a mirror of your baseline state. When the illusion of separateness drops, the chase collapses. The thing was never outside your awareness, only outside your permission. Linear time is the mind's leash. Reality runs on state-locked timing. So when your nervous system stabilizes a frequency, the timeline folds towards you. Ask how long, and you reinstall delay. Ask what state, and you start bending the clocks. Okay. So set a state clock, right? Pick one word, calm, power, love, anything that expands you, right? Transcends your idea of the self. And every hour on the hour, right? Just 60 seconds of that state. Breath, posture, micro smile, right? Why not put it on your lock screen, right? Change your breath, change your posture, micro smile, micro smile. And you just keep doing this 8 reps a day, for 21 days. Watch the coincidences compress because staying in alignment is still masculine control language. True alignment is what remains when interference stops. Resonance is your birth state. If you don't hold it, you stop dropping it. Guys, I'm going to share a little bit of this thing I recorded. This was very early in the morning. I got woken up randomly and I went back to bed, but I knew I had to record this. I'll just show you the first of it. Okay, I'll share it with adepts. It's a 9-minute rant. Okay. Um, I'll share with you maybe the first 30 seconds or so. You are what you bring to it. You are the consciousness that gets reflected back. Whatever your will and desire foretells. So as you sit with your infinite self, allow yourself to rest in pure abundance and know that this is your throne. Okay. Just a little preview for people who aren't adepts and are interested in that. Your breath is the original plant medicine, right? It reshapes blood gases, it unlocks fascial memory, it does so many amazing things, right? It surges endogenous chemistry. So when your breath is done with devotion, it detonates story and installs felt truth. So breath is the spine of embodiment. I realize I need to breathe full in, full out, belly breaths, just in and out of the nose. And it's so cool when we start to understand that Instagram isn't neutral, right? It's an astral buffet of other people's fragments. Do you guys see this? You can't discern your heart while ingesting 500 alien currents before breakfast. Okay. Sovereignty demands a clean signal. I really want you to create a holy whitelist of people that you follow and delete people from the app and just unfollow a bunch, like unfollow like 50, right? That's my challenge to you, whoever's listening, because I know you need to do it, right? I'm just putting you in the driver's seat so you take the action. Okay? Just unfollow, unfollow, unfollow. Just use like 10 minutes, go through that list, and just unfollow a bunch of the pages. It's like, this one's weird. This one's pulling me away from my mission. This one is, yeah, right? And so you are the master of spiritual intuitive domains when you stop auditioning for the the female or male gaze and your inner critics, right? You can't fix your parents. They're perfect. Your parents are perfect provocations delivered by your soul to forge your mastery. You judge them and you rewound yourself. You accept them as they are and they interrupt the lineage spell. It's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy. It's going to be easy. Your healing is the update your bloodline has been waiting for. Mom and dad, thank you for the exact training you gave my heart, right? Message your parents today. Mom and dad, thank you for giving me the exact training you gave my heart. What training? What are you talking about? Why are you messaging us at this time? What's going? Doesn't matter. You burn safely, right? You don't refeed the flaws. You notice that 3 gifts were born out of those flaws. Then enact one boundary that honors you without making them feel wrong. You see, I've been lonely a lot of my life, and loneliness is the nervous system's request for you. The abandoned child in you isn't proof that you're unlovable. It's proof that your inner presence is ready to become immovable. So you got to flip the myth. I am the presence I was denied. I am the presence I was denied. Feel into that. When you finally give yourself what you give others, abandonment becomes impossible. You know? Do you ever tend to yourself? You know how we have little dogs or babies and we stroke their face like this? Why don't you do that with your own face? Right? I would never do that to myself. Show me a cute puppy and I'm like, "Ooju, ooju, ooju," right? I'm doing different baby sounds. But towards myself, I cannot soften. What is going on? Life didn't change, your labeling did. Highs and lows are mind-made curves on a flat ocean, right? So when you sit inside oneness, contrast becomes choreography, not a threat. From there, you become unshakable. Not because the storm stopped, but because you are the sky, right? Mathis, what's up, man? So the intellect is a brilliant servant and a terrible sovereign. It'll keep you improving forever to avoid the ultimate task, which is letting love run your life. When heart leads and mind executes, life moves in holy precision with far less collateral damage. Who is speaking? The fear or the truth? The fear or the truth? If fear, pause, 10 breaths. If truth, move within 24 hours, right? Just got to move. Build that chain of command because community is an amplifier, not a crutch, right? Collective ceremonies, breath circles, powerful accelerants, but that fire is yours. You know what I've realized, guys, is that our Primal Sutra community is in itself an egregore, right? So we have to start treating it as a thought form now. We have to start understanding what we're actually bringing into our fields. And I'm going to do a ritual, I think, today to actually activate this because, yeah, as we marinate, in the first and last state of your day, you got to understand that fall asleep as the person you already are, wake up as the mission that breathes you. Okay, that's a nighttime and morning practice, if you want to call it that. Okay, there is nothing to get, only more of me to let through. Let that be your stance. Place that sentence on a screen for 30 days, right? Every time you unlock your phone, right? It's like one breath into the belly and a micro smile, right? And you reinstall the truth thousands and thousands of times because I don't know how many times you guys open your phone, so many times, right? For right now, I have this digital mandala by Maitreya Fields, okay? So say one unreasonable want or desire. Say it out loud. Why do I say unreasonable? Because your mind is trying to hijack it. You have to, oh, it must be reasonable. My dreams and desires must be reasonable and feasible and probable. Not exactly. Not exactly. It's just you haven't made embodiment to that state your medicine yet, right? I'll read you a small chapter, okay, from Padmasambhava's book. I've been looking at it. So I'll end with this, okay, guys? It seems that most of you have set your minds on attaining Buddhahood and you're thinking, I'm going to become a Buddha. But what's that about? Why would you want to become a Buddha? Are you inspired by a patriotic motivation? Do you want to do something for your country? Or is it something for yourself? If it's for yourself, in what way would becoming a Buddha be of benefit to you? We want to become Buddhas because we are wandering in the cycle of existence within samsara. But what is samsara? A lot of people say, oh, it's such a drag to live in San Francisco. Or people say, well, yeah, well, it's worse in Los Angeles. Other people say, well, it's even worse in New York. Is that what wandering in samsara is about? Going from one city to another? No. That's not the point. Samsara, the cycle of existence, refers to the six types of sentient existence from hell realms through the deva or celestial realms. As we are wandering within these realms, we are subject to the six types of existence, each of which has its own specific type of suffering. And in attaining Buddhahood or perfect enlightenment, we gain release from all these realms. We gain release from all these realms. In terms of the temporal well-being to be gained, we achieve the existence of humans or of gods. In terms of the ultimate or everlasting well-being, this is the attainment of enlightenment itself. By achieving that, we gain genuine freedom. So ask yourself, do I have that freedom right now? I don't have it, and I expect you don't have it either. In order to attain genuine freedom, we strive for enlightenment. Okay, that's it. All right, guys, thank you so much for tapping in. I hope you enjoyed this transmission. I hope it gave you new ideas, new insights, new epiphanies that you can follow through on and cause this ripple effect to get started. Tune in, look at the rules if you're an adept, of this month. Um, I've designed a very cool looking seraphic figure where I chose different bird wings for each one. So hawk wings, peacock wings, two of them, and parrot wings, okay, from different influences from my guides. So very powerful seraphic energy there. I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. You got this. We got this upward spiral gang to infinity and beyond. We're all going to make it.